And I'm gonna prove everybody that there's levels to this. And I'm not playing when I'm saying I'm gonna break his mouth. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. And my only objective is going in there and inflict as much damage as possible on David Morrell. I'm going for the knockout.
It's getting personal now?
It's been personal.
Tensions have escalated dramatically between David Benavidez and David Morrell, ahead of their highly awaited light heavyweight clash. Scheduled for February 1st, 2025, at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas during a recent press conference, the animosity between the two fighters was palpable. Benavidez attempted to initiate a handshake, which Morell refused, leading to a heated verbal exchange.
David Morrell, when he says,
let me. I want to.
You don't have power for this.
You don't have. I
don't have power for this.
I don't have power. No, I don't have power.
Not for this.
I'm gonna show you.
To break my mouth.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna break your fucking mouth. I'm gonna break your
talking all that mouth.
Talking all that. When you have a jaw brace on, that's gonna be. That's my gift to you.
You boys, you know more better, man. Like shut the fuck, bitch. What the fuck do you mean?
What are you saying?
You know. Man, you're a stupid.
I'll beat the.
No, man. Okay, whatever you do. Okay, baby, whatever you do. Whatever you do.
All right. And then I want you to come ready because I'll beat the. I want you guys to give me. I want you guys to give me the props I deserve. All right.
Whatever you do.
We'll see.
Whatever you do.
The confrontation intensified when Benavidez shoved Morell, who retaliated by hurling his WBA regular title, belt at Benz's head. Security personnel quickly intervened to prevent further escalation. Both fighters have expressed their intentions to dominate the upcoming bout.
It's a complicated fight. You know it's going to be hard. But now that all this is happening, how you feel different about him?
That's more fuel. That's more fuel to the flame to go in there and do what I got to do. Now, I'm really going to go in there and I'm going to put a beating on him.
Okay, so we're waiting, guys, in case you are watching the stream. We're waiting for David Morrell to come back here and try to do this in a Pacific way.
Benavidez, holding an undefeated record of 290 with 24 knockouts, has been vocal about his desire to inflict significant damage on Morell, stating, "I'm going to hurt David Morrell as much as possible." Morell, also undefeated with an 11-0 record and 9 knockouts, remains confident, dismissing Benz's threats and asserting his own plans for victory.
First of all, I tried to shake his hand, you know what I mean? I try to be cool. Because last press conference, you know, we did the shit talking, but then in the middle, after, we was cordial, we were shaking hands and stuff, so. No, I was just expecting the same thing. It's my birthday today, so I didn't really want to get too aggressive.
Yeah, gotta go get some cake later.
No cake. But, I tried to shake his hand, kept running his fucking mouth, you know what I mean? And I'm not gonna let nobody disrespect me like that. You know, especially, I don't know who this guy thinks he is. He thinks he's the hardest person in the planet, so I'm gonna beat the fuck. And there's nothing else really left to say. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter, yes, but I'm gonna make all these great fighters look average.
The feud between David Benavidez and David Morrell is not just about boxing. It's a clash of personalities, fighting styles, and championship ambitions. Their rivalry took a fiery turn during a recent press conference when Benavidez unleashed a chilling warning to Morrell, declaring, "I'm going to kill you," this statement.
David Benavidez, American from Arizona, from Phoenix, Arizona. Debut 2013 through 2021. I think he is still fighting. His last fight most likely occurred in 2021. Oh wait, November 13th, he's got an upcoming fight versus Jose Uzcatagu, Colombian. But his last one took place March 13, 2021. 24, and we got another undefeated,
David Morrell is going to put up one hell of a fight. I just think David Benavidez is not what people think he is. I see a highly skilled fighter with good fluidity in his punches and his moves. The guy, to me, is one of the best fighters in the world. And I'm talking about skill-wise. Like, he got fast hands. He throws great flurries. He knows how to break you down systematically. His defense is far better than people give him credit. Him against Oleksandr Volcic, I was like, brother, this guy looks great, right? He just needs more time at 175, which I think he got.
David Morrell and David Benavidez are going to fight. Yeah. Is that a fight that you're...
Oh, got it, yeah. Well, the story with he and I was, I met him when he was a kid, and he told me, "I'm going to be a world champion someday." and you know, and then I run into him and he's a world champion. You know, that's happened to me so many times, usually with MMA fighters, not boxers. That's when I was sort of kicking the tires of boxing, and yeah, yes, I will watch that fight, if that's the question you're asking.
Though hyperbolic in the context of fight promotion, underscores the level of animosity brewing between the two undefeated fighters. Benavidez, nicknamed the Mexican Monster, boasts an imposing record of 29-0 with 24 knockouts, known for his relentless pressure power punches and iron will. He has been on a mission to establish himself as the most dominant super middleweight and a potential contender to face boxing.
I don't want to fight someone who doesn't mean something for my career. And the best out there now is David Morrell.
I see him coming up to 175. He's talking about it. So I'm going to shut his ass up. And also, it would be a bigger pay-per-view if we wait later. His name is not that big, but, you know, I don't...
They just talk the way you want your fighters to talk. They're all about the smoke. They want to fight everybody. It seems like whoever would win the Morell-Benavidez fight get the shot. But at the end of the day, we got a guy who wants to fight a tough guy.
David Morrell is so good. David Morrell is a high-risk, low-reward fighter. You have to overpay people to step in the ring with him. If you don't overpay him, you won't get him in the ring. It's as simple as that, Jack. So, David Morrell going in 2024, one of the most exciting fighters, got an exciting style, has a fan base in Minnesota. You know, that's the knock on the Cubans. No international distribution on the Cuban feed because they don't show the fights. Has a fan base in Minnesota. Now we need to see the fights. Vladimir Shishkin, Kristen and Billy. Any of those guys on the back end of the top 10, I want to see them in with him.
Superstar Canelo Alvarez in the build-up to this fight. Benavidez has been vocal about his disdain for Morell, accusing him of disrespect and vowing to make their clash a brutal affair. The press conference showcased Benz's fiery temperament, with his aggressive remarks and a physical altercation that only added to the drama on the other side. David Morrell, the WBA regular champion,
There's a huge demand for this fight, Dave Morell and David Benavidez. For me, though, I never had a huge demand for it because I think it's a bit early for Morell. And when you look at his last fight, Riyadh season, David Morrell didn't look that good. But a lot of people don't think David Benavidez looked that good against Volstik. I thought he looked great. I just thought he gassed out, but I thought he looked phenomenal. This fight, though, reminds me a bit of how they moved along Vargas. Remember when Vargas fought Trinidad? People wanted that fight until they saw it. He was a little too young, and he was showing a lot of promise, but I think they moved him along too quickly. Don't be surprised if David Benavidez give him a boxing lesson. David Benavidez, I think he's going to show some movement, shoot the jab, be busy. I think Morell has a puncher's chance. And I think it's a phenomenal puncher's chance because he's so athletically gifted.
Benavidez and David Morrell, right? This is the type of fights boxing needs. Two young fighters, great fighters in their division. They moved up to 175. They were at 168. The fight wasn't made there, but 175, David said, you know what, let's make this fight happen. The first few pictures, it looks like David has some weight to take off. He looks like the Tyson Fury of the 175, but that doesn't matter, right? It's all about your fighting technique, your fighting style. I think David Morrell has a great opportunity to showcase his skills, but I don't think it'll be enough to beat a David Benavidez. I think David Benavidez has a little bit too much power and too much combinations for David Morrell. David Morrell hasn't, fought anybody that is maybe top 2, top 3. David Benavidez has been in there with Caleb Plant, has been in there with some good fighters. So he is coming into the fight the favorite. But let me know what you guys think of that fight, all right?
Has carved out a reputation as a slick, powerful, and technically gifted boxer with a perfect record of 11 Z and N knockouts. Morell is eager to prove that he belongs at the top of the division, despite being the less experienced fighter in terms of professional bouts. Morell has shown no signs of intimidation during the press conference. His refusal to take Benz's hand and his bold move of hurling his championship belt at Benz's head.
Here is David and Monstro Benavidez.
First of all, I just want to thank God for everything. Without him, it's possible. I also want to thank my wife, my son, my daughter, my father, Jose Benavidez, Sam Lukowitz, all PBC, Luis Sakubis, all Hammond, and here we are again. I told you guys I was going to give you the best fights that you guys wanted to see, and we're here again. We got this guy. He's been talking about me for a while, for about 2 or 3 years. Disrespecting me, disrespecting my dad, disrespecting my brother. So now, he wanted to take it personal with me. So I'm personally going to break his fucking mouth so he has something to remember me by.
I want to know who in these dudes' heads that they trying to fight in January. They ain't no main event, man. Don't nobody know David ass, man.
Shit.
David and David's not a main event?
They got to
Combined,
learn.
them got 1 million followers. Combined, they ain't got 1 million followers, huh, Ness?
I don't know what they got. I know they got to learn. Like my man did 175, then he did 62. Then they put you on the undercard. Like, bruh, like, that, I mean, you know, keep building. He should be pushing for this undercard right here to be on this tank undercard again.
So you want us to be back on the undercard, so you just hate.
I'm afraid that you're going to do a show in January and it's not going to be successful.
We ain't got time to be hot.
David Benavidez is not a main event fighter, man. That's proving my fucking point, man.
It's more.
Anyways.
It's more about.
Nah, he ain't about his dance partner, man.
Yeah, it's more about Morell. Nobody knows Morell.
Signaled that he's not backing down the stakes for this fight. Couldn't be higher. Both fighters are determined to settle their differences inside the ring and position themselves as the clear top contender for Canelo Alvarez. The February 1st, 2025 showdown at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas has already captured the imagination of boxing fans who anticipate a war between Benavidez's aggression and Morell's finesse, in addition to the personal grudge.
Yeah, listen, I'll give massive props to Benavidez because I've rated Morell very highly for a long time. In Los Angeles, I got to watch him up close and I really wasn't impressed with what I saw, but I just think he had an off night. He's a very good fighter. And Benavidez really doesn't need to be taking that fight, but he is. So listen, big respect to David Benavidez. That's a great fight, and we want to see great fights. I hope there's more fighters like David Benavidez that said, no, I'll back myself. I don't give a fuck about Morell. I know everyone rates him and he's this Cuban killer. I'll beat him. Get me in with him. Fair play. Well done, David Benavidez.
Great fight as well. Really, really good fight. It's great to see this, isn't it? I mean, boxing's flat at the minute, but I really, really rate Benavidez. Hard to look past him, not one for me.
This fight carries implications for the super middleweight division's future. If Benavidez wins his campaign for a mega fight against Canelo, will gain even more momentum. On the other hand, a victory for Morell would catapult him to superstardom and establish him as a legitimate force in the division. Benavidez and David Morrell. Right? This is the type of fights boxing needs. Two young fighters.
So I got a couple things I want to talk about. You got David Benavidez fighting David Morrell. Now David Morrell's only got like 11 pro fights or 12, and he's undefeated, Cuban guy. I think he's Cuban. And he's a good boxer, but I don't know. I don't know if he is going to beat David Benavidez. David Benavidez was a big 168-pounder. Now he's at 175. He looked real good against Glozdik. But Glozdik was, hadn't fought in a while. If it was the Glozdik, I think that fought better Biev, even though he lost, he was winning the fight mostly until he got stopped. He's a great boxer, but he's past his prime. But I can see David Benavidez winning this. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I know I say that every fight, but it's just I'm getting better and better. I'm more experienced. Now I'm physically, emotionally, spiritually. I'm at one with myself, and I'm just ready. I'm ready. These are the type of challenges I want. I don't shy away from no fight. If no fight or no fighter, you know what I mean? And that's definitely what I'm going to show February 1st.
Do you think like you break them down like later in the rounds? Like, do you catch them early and break them down early like we saw with Andrade?
To be honest with you, I'm going to just put a game plan together and I'm going to just follow my game plan. I don't know if it's going to come early. I don't know if it's going to come late. But I will be trying to knock them out. That's what I do every single fight. I go in there and I just break people down and I beat the shit out of them. It's going to be the same thing.
Given the last performance, I know you said at the post-fight you were injured, you're dealing with a lot of things. What do you make of like the perception of David at 175 from fans now? And do you think it's fair?
To be honest with you, I don't care what nobody says. I know exactly what I do. I know that 7 weeks left to the fight, I tore an tendon. 8 weeks left to fight toward a tendon. I got closer to 4 weeks, only using one hand.
Great fighters in their division, they moved up. To 175, they were at 168. The fight wasn't made there, but 175, David said, you know what, let's make this fight happen. The first few pictures, it looks like David has some weight to take off. He looks like the Tyson Fury of the 175, but that doesn't matter, right? It's all about your fighting technique, your fighting style.
You making the nerves that were displayed by David Morrell up on the stage there, maybe a little bit out of character?
To be honest with you, I think, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I just know that when it comes to me and him, you know, at the end of the day, it's only going to be us in that ring, but I'm here to show him that, you know, I'm going to keep this energy up, and, you know, he's in for a long, long night. When I tell him I'm going to break his mouth, that's really what I want to do. I'm not playing around. I'm going in there, and that's exactly what I intend on doing.
What was the main thing that he said that really got you going and really make you say that he want to break his jaw?
I can't remember word for word what it was, but you know, I mean, you guys heard him. You guys have seen that he's been saying that he's gonna knock me out, that I'm not nothing, this and that. So now it's time to live up to that.
Why his jaws? Why not ribs?
Oh, well, the ribs too, but the jaw's the only thing I can think of right now. But we're gonna put a beat on him, man. I know it's not gonna be an easy task, but this is the type of fight I want. This because I think this is gonna show. I know this is gonna show what level I'm at.
I think David Morrell has a great opportunity to showcase his skills, but I don't think it'll be enough to beat a David Benavidez. I think David Benavidez has a little, a bit too much power and too much combinations for David Morrell. David Morrell hasn't, you know, fought anybody that is maybe top 2, top 3. David Benavidez has been in there with Caleb Plant, has been in there with some good fighters, so he is coming.
There's been a lot of like bad blood with this buildup because of what's happened at the press conferences. Like you as a bystander, what'd you make of what happened in Miami?
I wasn't there though, that's the thing.
Like Morrell threw the belt at him, David ducked.
I don't know why the belt. That's something you don't do. What if there would have been, you know, someone said he was a kid or something? You don't do that. And that's how you know he's not how he says he is. He walks around like he's from the hood, like he's gangster. He's like, none of that. Why are you gonna throw a belt? Why not pass the belt down to the side and go handle it? If you're really mad, if you're really about that, you know. I mean, it is what it is.
Did that type of like response surprise you, like from him?
Just made me seem like he's a.
Into the fight, the favorite. But let me know what you guys think of that fight. All right, let me know what you guys think as the countdown to fight. Night continues. The bad blood between Benavidez and Morrell ensures that this bout will be more than just a contest of skills. It will be a battle for pride, dominance, and the right to call oneself the best in the division.